I don't want to break up the party. Y'all are having such a good time. Hi, everybody. Isn't this a great day? Aren't you guys excited? Yes. And congratulations to all of you that passed the bar. We had an 80% pass rate. You made history. Thank you. Thank you. And to those that have to do it a second time, no worries. It's always better the second time round. So we're all just so excited to be here today. You just have to know that everybody in this room is smiling. And we couldn't do it at the other building, as most of you know, because River Landing, which is the building we have, because there's just so many of you and so many of your family and friends. We have these wonderful guests that have joined us today that I'll introduce in just a minute. So you're here. This is it today. And I want to thank everybody that did put together. We, oh, for us, this is like one of the happiest days. Some days, and I'm so happy, You deal with problems, people's problems, but today is just a joyous day. And I want to thank my leadership team. I know they're here. I see Nilo. Oh, Daisy, I see Daisy, Nilo. Anyway, I'm sure Johnny's here. Obviously, Will is here. How about a round of applause for our training director, Will Wright? I think Jose Rojo is here. Not yet. He'll be joining us shortly. So for those of you that could not join us in this room, I think you may know that we've set up a overflow room, and it's got its own TV. So to all of our friends and family that are in that room, I'm sorry we couldn't accommodate you in this one. But through technology, you join us for this really joyous occasion. I also want to really underscore how important a day this is for you and for us and for the community and the whole justice system, the court, all the stakeholders, everyone that goes through the criminal justice system. You now are becoming a critical, essential role in that system. And we cannot function, it cannot function without you. And I want to start with our Chief of County Court, Leonard. There he is, Leonard Thompson. Leonard, would you please come up here? Everyone sitting over there, I know you all know who Leonard Thompson is because he's your immediate boss. He's your chief. He's also one of our leadership team, and he's going to do the Pledge of Allegiance to our guests. This is Leonard Thompson. Would you like to do the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Would everybody rise? Thank you. Y'all can be seated. Thank you, Leonard, for your leadership and for all your service. I also want to introduce, you haven't met him before. The class before you met him. And he was so powerful and so entertaining that we just had to invite him back. He's a dear friend of my family, of our greater SAO family, and to many of us that go to his church, go to his brother's church, went to his father's church. Pastor Alfonso and his son's church, you're right. Oh, by the way, he opened this door, okay? I'm told, I saw, okay, I'm going off script just a little bit. So recently I was at a services for somebody, and I'd always known how powerful Pastor Alfonso Jackson was. I've seen him so many times, but I never saw him actually turn it on full volume. And I walked in and I'm like looking at him and said, is that him? And he was so powerful. I mean, everyone in that church, we were sweating, we were moving, we were swaying. He had everybody going. And I went over to him and said, I had no idea you were that powerful. A voice and a persona and words and feelings and spirituality. And somebody looked and said, yeah, you should see his son. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Pastor Alfonso Jackson, who's going to do the invocation for us.
It is indeed an honor and a pleasure for me to come. I was honored last year to come and to pray, give words of, just to speak words of class. Actually, last year was the first I was impressed by that. You are twice as many as them. And I'm glad. My father, he was a great pastor. And when I would go places because of him, I would say, Dad, they invited me there the first time because of you, but they invited me back. I was feeling good about myself that they invited me back again. He says, son, maybe they invited you back, get it right this time. So perhaps that's why I'm here this time, to get it right this time. As I pray for you, I challenge you also in the area of justice and mercy. Justice and mercy, balance between the two. Being able to judge fairly, to be able to distinguish fairly, to balance it out. There are going to be some people that they're going to put a lot of confidence in you, a lot of faith in you, and a lot of trust. I know you won't let them. Sometimes it's hard not to take it personal and get your feelings involved. Push beyond that. Find out what the real fact. How is this really going to affect you? It's an awesome response. You have chosen an honorable profession. Pray for you, though. I pray that whatever religion you are, whatever means that you use for a higher power, that you consult that power on a regular basis. Before you even talk to anybody, consult with the Lord, consult with your higher power, that he will give you wisdom. Let us pray. Eternal God, our Father, we come now at this appointed place, at this appointed time. We know, God, that we cannot be successful without you. I know there are those that try. There are those that gain some measure of success. But for those that reach the highest height, for those that descend to the lowest depth, they do it with your help. So I pray for this class. I pray this class be the best class that ever came through this program. I thank you for the instructors. Thank you for the tutors. Thank you for those that chaperone them, even those that they are shadowing right now. I pray now, God, that they're about to step out on their own, make their own way. God, they will rise to the top. That's what Cream does. It rises to the top. Let this be the best graduating class in the history of this program. I pray for them now. I pray for their success, not just of some of them, but for all of them, that all of them would be successful. We claim it today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Jackson. As always, very moving, and we're very appreciative of who you are and all the words of wisdom and your prayers for us. I also want to just sort of let you know who else is here sitting before you. You're going to hear from each of them a little bit, or some of them anyway. And so I want to start with ladies first, Your Honor. To the right here, we have the one and only, our U.S. District Court Judge, Beth Bloom. Judge Bloom, thank you so much for being here. Let me just tell you, she hasn't missed swearing in new assistant state attorneys into the Florida bar since I can remember. And she is really so devoted to this. She gets in her car. She's over in the federal courthouse. I'm sure some of you may know where that is. It's quite a distance. She gets in her car. She has a lot of things to do. She comes over here just to be with you, to swear you into the Florida bar. And that just to me is so moving and so special. You make this special event every single year, and we're very grateful to you. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Before her appointment to the federal bench, Judge Bloom served on the Florida State Court bench in Miami-Dade. She was in county court for 15 years. And I kid you not. So where you were, and when you were going to court in front of your county court judges, we have a couple here today, I would interview folks similarly situated to where you are, right? They were interns, they were applying for a job. And when I would interview them, I said, so what judge are you in front of? Oh, I'm in front of Judge Beth Bloom. She's just the best. And I heard that for 15 years, and I told her that story over and over again. But it just speaks to who you are and how you care about this profession and these young, striving lawyers. She was appointed eventually to the circuit court in 2010. She was in all of our criminal and civil divisions, in all of our county court, as well as she served as an associate administrative judge. Then in 2014, Judge Bloom served as the United States District Judge in the Southern District of Florida after her appointment by President Barack Obama and her confirmation by the United States Senate. Now, this is today, it's unheard of. 95-0 in favor. It was unanimous. On June 24th, actually, it was her birthday, 2014. She's always been a part of this ceremony, and we're just so grateful you're here with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, can I hear, please, for Judge Bloom? And then over here to my right is a very special young man, Judge Orlando Prescott. You know me. It's okay. He is the administrative judge of our Juvenile Justice Division and of our Unified Children's Court of the 11th Judicial Circuit of Florida for Miami-Dade County. But Judge Prescott began his legal career right here. He sat where you sit today, just a few years ago. He later left us to, that's okay, we forgive you, to become an assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida. And then in 1999, he was promoted to be the deputy chief of the major prosecution unit at the U.S. Attorney's Office. In 2000, he was appointed to the county court bench in the 11th Judicial Circuit. And then again in 2005, he was elevated to the circuit court in our 11th Circuit, and there presides over the criminal justice felony cases. In August of 2009, he was appointed by Judge Joel Brown to serve as the administrative judge of the Juvenile Division, an excellent appointment, I might add. And I want to recognize that he is by far one of the most loyal, loving, firm, but fair judges that we've ever had from this office. And just to give you an example of that, there are times I have called Judge Prescott, and I call him and say, you know, we're doing X, Y, and Z in the division. Do you think that's right? Is it, you're doing the right thing? Is there something else we should be doing? And he will fairly, firmly, politely, graciously tell me no. No, I'm doing that for some emphasis for the story. But it just shows you that the kind of confidence that we have in the system, that we want each other to be the best. We want each other to be the lawyers and the best truth seekers that we can be. And so I thank you for allowing me to do that and call you on occasion. We also have two ladies, young ladies over there. They're amazing women. I'm going to start. I don't know why I'm starting, because I think, who started first? Alicia? Oh, you started together. Okay. Okay, so this is perfect. So I'm going to start with Judge Christy Nunez. Christy joined our office in 2006. Okay. That's why I could, when you said you both started at the same time, I'm looking at these numbers. Okay. She started in her office in 2005. I stand corrected. And she quickly became one of our felony division chiefs. All of you know what an incredible burden that is. And then in 2016, I asked her if she would become the director of my human trafficking unit. And she did. And she did an incredible job as the director of one of the most difficult divisions in the office and one of the most complex victimizations that you'll ever see within the system. And I really want to thank you. She did a great job. But then, of course, as soon as they do a great job, right, somebody steals them away. So she then went on to the bench in 2019, and she served there ever since. And we're very, very proud of you, and we're very happy that you're joining us today to welcome this new class. And she'll be signing your paperwork. So you're very lucky. Save it. It could be really important someday. And then next to her is another wonderful giant that was in our office, Alicia Garcia Priovalos. And she started in 2005. Okay, now I get it why you started together. And she excelled immediately within the office, like so many of you are going to do. And she also became the director of my human trafficking division. And I think she took over when you left, Christy, to go on the bench. And then Alicia took over. And the two, she just did an amazing job. And then she herself went on to become a judge shortly thereafter, I guess about 3 years later. Now, remember, I told you when we met, I don't know, third or fourth time a couple of weeks ago, that some of you are going to fall in love with each other. Some of you are going to marry each other. Some of you are going to divorce each other. Some of you are going to have children together. Some of you are not going to get married and have children together. Some of you are going to be on godparents to some of your best friends' children out of this group. And so I know you all did what you just did now. You laughed when I said that. It's true. And I know you don't believe me, but it is true. And Alicia happens to be one of those examples. So Alicia met her husband, John Priovalos. He was a couple years ahead of her in the felony divisions, I believe. They met, they fell in love, and now they have 2 baby ASAs. So welcome, Alicia, and thank you so much for your outstanding work. So to all of you that are sitting there, let me just say, this is one of the best days of your life. You are now entering the most noble and important professions in all of modern America. You will come to know that being a prosecutor is also one of the most personally rewarding professions. In fact, if you were to ask any former assistant state attorney who was in this office, even those that became part of the judiciary later, or they went on to have big clients and big cases and work for what they call big law, or they even became big TV stars, congressmen or ambassadors, or the chair of our ethics commission we have over there. Please, Jose, wave your hand. He was here, he left, he became the chair of our ethics commission for all of Dade County. And we also have the first woman attorney general in the United States, Janet Reno. So if you just think about all of those successful folks and you were to ask them, what was your time like at the state attorney's office? They will tell you it was one of the best jobs I ever had in my career. And you, each one of you, have the ability to make this the best job on this journey of your career. It is about service. You are a public servant. You are here to protect the people and to protect the community. And you know that that is so important and vital, not just to our system, but to our basic fundamental principles of democracy. When I hired each of you, and some of you would later say to me, why did you pick me? Well, there are a whole bunch of reasons. And it didn't have to do with whether you got the answer right or wrong on the hypothetical. I know you think that's what it was, but it wasn't. It was really all the fine qualities of who you were and what you exuded and how you thought and how you felt and how you expressed yourself. And if you were thoughtful and mindful, it didn't matter if you didn't really know the law at that point. Now you got to learn the law, but at that point. But it was all of the diversity that I see now as I look out into this beautiful room, this mosaic, this beautiful room of diverse experience, life experiences, languages, cultures, colors, art, music, food, music. I look out there and I just say, wow, what a great class, what a great group of wonderful young lawyers that are entering into the most noble of all professions. If I look out and I think about where you all came from, and we should let our guests know, you all came from different places too. Florida, Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., Nebraska, Illinois, Pennsylvania, California, Ohio, Texas, New York, Virginia, Wisconsin, and Puerto Rico. Where's Puerto Rico? Hey, yo soy boricua, pa' que tú lo sepas. Um, you bring just wonderful different backgrounds and knowledge and experiences, and that's what we need. We need to have all different lenses and perspectives. You also had incredible varying backgrounds in your degrees that you earned. In addition to your law degree, you come from different fields: public health, political science, criminology, psychology, economics, sociology, history, Latin American studies, criminal justice, Spanish communications, Talmudic studies, journalism, business administration, public administration. I'm exhausted. You did all that. But you also did other things. You worked for various other numerous federal and state agencies. You interned and or clerked for trial and appellate judges in the state and the federal court. And some of you even interned with some of our municipalities and local elected officials. Some of you have been in the military. Who was in the military? There you go. And law enforcement? Someone in law enforcement? Not here today? Some of you have been on trial teams in moot court. Some of you were on a law review. Some of you worked in our state legislators' offices, congressmen and senators. And some of you already had careers before you start this one. And then, as circumstantial evidence, I don't know, but circumstantial evidence would say that a couple of members of this class have prosecution in their blood. Now, why do I say that? You know what I'm going to say, right? I know you do. It DNA runs in the family because we have sons and daughters in this class whose parents served as prosecutors in this. Probably. Carly Herskowitz. Where's Harley? There she is, right in front of me. Carly is the daughter of John Herskowitz, who was an ASA here from 1989 to 1994. Oh, I came in and he left. I have to talk to them. Her dad is now a very prominent Miami attorney at Barron, Herskowitz and Cohen. And I think Carly has been flying her prosecutor flag for years now because she interned in my office in 2019. Then she went to the Gainesville state attorney in 2020. And then she came here last year. And now she's becoming an assistant state attorney. That's really wonderful. Congratulations to John, too. Is John here? John, you did it. And then we have Justin Barquette. Do you remember Roy Barquette? Runner? Yes. So Justin Barquette, Uncle Roy Barquette was an assistant state attorney in this office from 1991 through 1996. And now his uncle is a very distinguished partner at Foley and Lardner LLP, who practices in the field of immigration. Justin interned in 2018. He interned for the public defender. This is my favorite part. He interned at the public defender's office in law school in 2022. In fact, he worked directly for the elected public defender, Carlos Martinez. And I'm so excited you chose us and getting sworn in here. And I say that as a sister because Carlos and I have a tremendous relationship. And you know that because I invited him to come speak with you earlier this year. So we're just really excited that you're following in his footsteps. Justin? So I want you to know we tried to get Roy to come back. Yeah. So I guess he sent you in his place? There you go. Next best thing. That's right. So there, right? So there to Roy. And is Johnny Hardiman here? Johnny back there. So Justin, if you turn around real quick, Johnny, raise your hand. So Johnny was recruited. She was working here, worked with your uncle. He then steals her from me. Takes. You think it's funny? I didn't think it was so funny. Johnny then works for your uncle at, I think it was still Hector Davis at the time. And then I got her back. So in the end, I won. I got her and I got you. So then we also have Christina Schlesinger, who was sworn in as assistant state attorney on the first day of her training. So we all know, but let our guests know. Christina, where are you? So Christina is the daughter of Judge Marilyn Milian and Judge John Schlesinger, who have been dear friends of mine for decades. Yours too? I know. What he said, it's okay. You glad. Is Marilyn here or John? Oh, I was hoping they were going to come. They would. You told them not to come so they wouldn't embarrass you. No. No, 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 no. Actually, she's so funny. I texted her. I texted her a while back, and it's so funny. And so I said to her, "Listen, do you guys still have your power of attorney? You know, your are you notaries?" And I said, "Because it would be so great if you could come and help swear in the new class because your daughter's in it." And only Marilyn could come up with this answer. You both know Marilyn, right? Because she texted me back. I don't have it in front of me, but I think I remember it precisely. She said, "Ah, alas, we are powerless." But it's just another beautiful story about how I told you. So Marilyn was here in the office, her mother, and her father at the time was an assistant U.S. attorney. Was he working with? Okay, over at the U.S. Attorney's Office. They fell in love. They both became judges. And then I don't know if you know this, but Marilyn Milian went on to become probably one of the most recognizable judges on TV. And she was the judge of the People's Court. And if any of us that have seen it, she was exactly the way she was on TV was how she was in person, right? We talk about her abuelita and this. It's very good. And the test really is how long she lasts. So anyway, we love you both for sharing your daughter with us if you're watching. So in the end, all of you have been on a journey leading you to your career. And I just know that you've met each other now, gotten to learn about each other, you've made good friends, you become colleagues. And like I said, I know that you're going to create a bond here that will last you a lifetime. It truly will. So cherish this and enjoy this. And I just wanted you to know that there are a couple interesting things, and then I will be closing and listening. You get to listen to these other great people. But I learned a couple of things that you probably learned about each other too. For instance, one of you has a love-hate relationship with IKEA. He gets lost in that maze, but he keeps going back. Hunter? All right, Hunter. You know how I knew it was you? Because they all turned around and looked at you and laughed. And then one of you can make anyone hungry just talking about your Italian-American family's traditional holiday feast. Is that you? Ah, okay. So, Isabella Giordano, are you going to make us a nice Italian feast? All right. And then we have one of you that thinks LeBron James. You're already, finishing. You know exactly what I'm going to say. And he's already waving over. Well, let me finish for the others that don't know. He thinks LeBron James is the GOAT and absolutely rejects any suggestion to the contrary. So, Jared, Misselmine, there you are. And then last but not least, it seems one of you has adopted Batman as his law enforcement role model. Is that you? Okay, girls, you got a Batwoman in mind? Batman, huh? Okay. Wonder Woman. Who said that? Somebody said Wonder. Leave it to you to say that. You are a Wonder Woman. So I hope that you all really enjoyed each other the last 5 weeks, bonded. You've had drinks together. You've learned together. You've made mistakes together, and you will continue to do that. As I told you a couple of weeks ago, you're going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. To this day, we make. The key is to learn from them and confront them, embrace them, say, I made a mistake. But I'm going to learn from that mistake, and that's never going to happen again. And if I told you some of the mistakes I made, it would make your hair curl, if it isn't already curly. But I learned from them. I've never forgotten them as I look out at you and I think about the incredible journey you have ahead of you. I think about those. You never did do them again. And it's okay. You have everyone in this office, all of your supervisors, the court, the judges. We all learn from the judges. The judges are really, like you were, a first line of helping us learn to be the best lawyers that we can be. We all want to see you succeed, and we're all really adopting you into our family. And I just want to close by saying I want to thank my leadership team. I think most of them have come by now. I see them. I see Steve Talpins, Jose Orojo I introduced, Annette Perez. I don't know how Annette does it. This is one of the largest law firms, probably in Dade County. It certainly is one of the largest prosecutors, top five, I believe, in the United States of America. And that woman, Wonder Woman over there, go like this, Annette, so they can see you. She's in charge of 800 support staff, the support staff that support you in your daily mission, getting to court on time, having your materials, having your evidence, having all your witnesses lined up, having the depots taken, all those things she has. And I thank you. Would you please all join me in thanking her? And then you know that you've all been through one of the most rigorous in the country, one of the longest and most arduous of all training programs in the country. And many of you, when we recruited you and you spoke with us, said, why our office? And a lot of you said, because I hear you got the best training program. Well, you know what? It's all because of you, Will. Thank you. Will, and you and Leonard, your team, thank you. Stand up. And Josh. Joshua, thank you too. I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce you earlier. Joshua is the head of our domestic violence court. So in the end, you know what our mission is. It's to protect and defend our community by upholding and enforcing the criminal laws of the state of Florida with fairness and with equality. And understand, you've heard us say this a million times, each of you are the ministers of justice. You need to seek, and you will seek, a just result in every case, honestly and ethically. For instance, you've been through our training on all of our ethical obligations. We have some of the highest ethical obligations, and we will always meet each one of those. Some of them we've talked to you about as the Brady material. Remember, when in doubt, just give it out. Protect the innocent. This is a very important role for you. And sometimes it could be the accused. The accused may be innocent. And the other innocent folks that you're protecting are the victims who are powerless, voiceless, helpless. They can't speak. They're afraid of the system itself. You become their advocate. And then, of course, is to convict the guilty, representing due process, always respect. Now, you know what we do. You understand what we expect. You know that we've talked about you listening. Listen to everything that you can about a defendant. If you're standing in court and a mother shows up, the pastor shows up, his coach shows up, I say he because unfortunately many of our defendants are male. Anyone who shows up says, I want to talk to you about, or Murray, whatever the name may be. Listen to what they have to say. You may end up learning something that will help you in making a just result. What charges to file? What do you look for in terms of a just result? What's the best thing for the community? What's the best thing for that victim that's involved? And what's the best thing for that defendant, given the circumstances and the charges of all those things? Also, remember that we're really truth seekers. That's what we want. We want to know what the truth is. And that's what we always need to be focused on, is what is the truth of what we're seeking. And then what is the fair thing for us to do? You're becoming advocate of all kinds of victims that are accused, victims that were completely innocent. One day, they were with their son, and the next day, their son was shot, just sitting in a car, or sitting in their apartment or their house, or standing in a store, and all of a sudden, that person's gone. That surviving mother, that life will never be the same. And it's true also for not so violent crimes. You'll hear victims say, I can't sleep in my house anymore. I'm so afraid. Ever since that burglary happened, and you weren't in the house. I know I wasn't in the house, but I still am. And so that peace has been stolen. And so those are the things that you're going to be called to duty, to embrace, lift up, and to help. And remember this, we're all here for you. And to the families, I want to thank all the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, neighbors, teachers, professors, all those that helped you get to where you are today. And I thank them because your success is going to be their success. And I know that they're probably prouder of you today than you are of yourself. You've worked really hard to get where you are, but you had a lot of support along the way. I don't know if those parents are here because we didn't have enough room. Are there parents in the room? No. Okay, a couple of parents. All right, would you parents, relatives, stand up and let the rest of us all please thank you? Stand up. Thank you so much, parents, grandparents, and all of you for caring so much about this community that you are lending your loved ones to help us with this mission. And to all of you, again, congratulations, bless you. And now I have the honor of introducing the most important person in this room, the one who's going to swear you in to the Florida bar that's been your nemesis now for a couple of years, right? Oh, the Florida bar. I'm studying for the Florida bar. And so without any further ado, would you all join me in welcoming the Honorable Judge Beth?
Our state attorney has given such wise advice, and she has chosen and nurtured and trained and worked with this amazing leadership team. So if you will join me in thanking our state attorney for the wonderful work that she does. Thank you. So I want to also congratulate you on your journey to this exciting new chapter in your life and take in all the success that this brings. And today you will recite your oath of admission to the Florida bar. Today will be a day that you will always remember, marking the end of your path of law school, college, bar prep, yesterday's great news, and your new chapter of joining the noblest profession and serving as an officer of the court. I'm certain that you have had many moments of personal reflection. What experiences will this new chapter bring for you? So much of it depends on the type of lawyer that you choose to be. Will you be the one that makes a difference, who makes our world a better place? You have met and worked alongside these incredible leaders that will continue to put their talent, their wisdom, their vision, their brilliance, their heart and soul into you and into this community and this world to make it a better place for all of us. But what will you do? And what will be your legacy? And while today is your day, it is also a day to express gratitude to the role models in your life, your friends and family who have been with you physically, emotionally, most financially, and always lovingly supporting you. I thank them. I hope you will as well. But I want to reflect on the 4 milestones and embrace them because they each have their own set of challenges. First, graduating from law school, financial, physical, emotional, and now you have that diploma. Second, passing the Florida bar. And I know that each of you held your breath yesterday as you clicked and to learn the great news. And unfortunately, some of your fellow classmates and colleagues were not so happy. But you can rejoice in knowing that your hard work brought you to this moment in your life. So the bar, what is the bar? It's a word that has come to mean an association of lawyers. However, the origination of the term bar comes from the actual courtroom. The bar, as most of you know, some of you may not, is the protective board, the railing that separates the general spectators area of the courtroom from the area that's specifically reserved for judges, attorneys, the parties, and court officials. And it's the bar that you will now pass in each of those courtrooms where you will represent the state of Florida as you sit at counsel. You stand at the podium, and as you approach a witness on the stand. That is a tremendous privilege that each of you have. And third is your accomplishment of being hired by the Miami-Dade State Attorney. Quite frankly, from among hundreds of other law school applicants across the country, this is the best and the brightest. And I know that having served 15 years as a state court judge in the county court and almost 4 years in the circuit court, having served in the Justice Building, the Lawson E. Thomas, haven't served in the Children's Courthouse, but those will be the buildings and your home. And you will be working alongside your colleagues, and your colleagues will be your friends. But I know firsthand that our state attorney selects the best and the brightest. So you can be pretty pleased that your selection among this very elite group is a monumental achievement in and of itself. The power and responsibilities that you have are enormous, and you must wield that power and embrace those responsibilities for one purpose: to seek justice. Heed the wise words of United States Supreme Court Justice Robert Jackson, who served as a United States Solicitor General and Attorney General. In his speech at the Conference of U.S. Attorneys on the qualities of a good prosecutor, words that apply to each one of you, he said, "The qualities of a good prosecutor are as elusive and as impossible to define as those which mark a gentleman, and those who need to be told would not understand it anyway. A sensitiveness to fair play and sportsmanship is perhaps the best protection against the abuse of power, and the citizen's safety lies in the prosecutor, who tempers zeal with human kindness, who seeks truth and not victims, who serves the law and not factional purposes, and who approaches his task with humility." Heed those words so that you will always seek justice. So that takes us to your fourth, being sworn in as an attorney and reciting your oath. So what does your oath mean? Each of you kind of perused it. I don't know if you've read it completely, maybe looked for some words that were foreign. Your oath is more than a don't lie, be courteous statement. You are actually promising to do something. There are 8 clauses of this, and they require action on your part to support the Constitution, to give due respect to the courts and judges, to refuse to pursue a case that is not grounded in the law, to uphold and follow the law, to maintain your attorney-client privilege, and to not steal from them, to act with civility and professionalism, to pledge fairness and be truthful and be honorable. These principles are also found in the rules regulating the Florida bar and the guidelines of professional conduct that will also govern and guide you. There is great wisdom in that oath. I suggest that you keep it handy as a constant reminder of your ethical obligation as an attorney. And I give you this advice because sooner than you think, and when you are least expected, moral standards and professional ethics will be. You're going to be faced with some tough questions. Driving fork in a road and not which way to go. It may be a mistake that you've made and an unwillingness to admit it. Perhaps discovery, Brady material that was not turned over and should have been. A witness statement in a case that should have been disclosed. Maybe a temptation to send that unprofessional email or text you composed out of frustration, or placing an argument in a pleading that you know has no support in the law. Like all attorneys before you, have to decide which road to travel. It's going to happen. Should you do or say something, or should you not do something? You'll be tempted to go the easier route, especially if no one is looking. My advice is to go with the harder right versus the easier wrong. The great Chief Justice Earl Warren once said that the law floats in a sea of ethics, and what is most important is whether you will adhere to your oath from the moment you begin your first day of practice until the moment you retire. Above all, your oath reminds you that you're an officer of the court. It is a most noble calling. I've been a proud member of the Florida Bar for nearly 37 years. 30 of those years as a judge, before you were born. But if you believe, as I do, that serving as a lawyer is a privilege, calling, a vocation, then you'll act differently and view your purpose differently than if you see it as just another way to make money or to advance. Even today in England, when lawyers become an advocate or barrister, they are called to the bar. Canadian lawyers use the expression called to the bar rather than admitted, and it's a privilege soon conveyed. But I have 4 pieces of advice. First, remain grateful and strive for harmony. Gratitude will decrease your response to stress, and stress is inevitable. Remember the gifts that you've been given, your intellect, your temperament, your love. Staying grateful will improve your outlook toward problem solving and will enhance your relationships, both professional and personal. Harmonize your work commitments with your health and your relationships. In law, as in life, challenge will be not to lose perspective of what's important. And look behind you, look around you. Your family and your friends, they have been there and will continue to be there for you. You need to be there. And look back at your own life. You've accomplished what many have only dreamed. Being accepted at one of the finest law schools, learned, you were inspired by world-renowned faculty, tremendous alumni, you developed friendships, you shared space with students from every walk of life, you engaged in classes that enhanced the importance. And you made it through law school. And congratulations on passing. My second piece of advice is to continue to be a student. And our state attorney said it best. You need to learn the law. There will be times when the work may seem unimportant or too complex, but you're going to need to adjust your expectations. And you need to learn the new area of law, that be faithful to the law and read the new cases. Develop a system and read the new cases when they're published. You'll stumble at times, but learn from others and learn from your own mistakes. Fail forward. The times when you get knocked down and get back up, those are the times that will define each. You'll be nervous, interviewing victims and witnesses, walking up to the podium to begin your oral argument, arguing your position on a complex legal issue. Learn to be good and then work to become great. And even when others doubt you, don't let their doubt distract you from your purpose, but do accept well-placed criticism and learn from it. Remember that relationships are important. They are where we impact people's lives. Surround yourself with people who will inspire you. It will make you a better lawyer and a better person, and it will keep you humble. My third piece of advice is protect your reputation. Quite frankly, just be an officer of the court. Civility is not inconsistent with zealous advocacy, and resist the temptation to be unpleasant. I know that I speak on behalf of colleagues in state court and federal court in saying that we learn quickly those attorneys who lack civility and take the unfortunate path of unprofessionalism. Those who fail to turn over discovery, argue a meritless point, refuse to cooperate when proper requests are made from opposing counsel. As judges, we see it in the snarky brief writing, the chest-pounding emails, and the bullying texts. You safeguard your good reputation by always conducting yourself in a professional manner. So resist the urge to disparage others and the legal profession, and never, ever tarnish your reputation by compromising your integrity. And my fourth piece of advice, is why you're here as public servants, because you care about the community. But give back, continue to give back, do pro bono work, engage in public service and positive change. The state attorney has so many programs that you can get involved. Lawyers who engage in pro bono service to protect those who cannot help themselves or work to promote social justice are truly the heroes of the legal profession. There are so many people in need, and you will find no greater reward than representing the poor and working. You'll gain much satisfaction. And I mean, look at the wonderful program that the state attorney has, the Second Chance program, Victims Assistance program, the Gun Violence, the Justice Project. There's so many opportunities created by the tremendous vision of our state attorney team. Like our state attorney, another one of my other heroes is late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who has consistently and admirably in her life been a voice for social change and individual rights. And before her appointment to the bench, she did, as most of us know, a significant amount of pro bono work for the ACLU. And through her work, she shaped the law, rights of so many. She famously said that whatever you choose to do, leave tracks. That means don't just do it for yourself. You want to leave the world a better place, and a little bit better for your happiness. I'm so proud to share this day with you, and as you leave the room, as the newest members of our Florida bar, just leave tracks, and may each of you use your talent and your wisdom to make the world a better place. So it is now my honor to administer the oath of commission. I'm going to ask our new members that have just passed the bar to stand. It is my honor, and I know we have some parents in the room. If you want to come forward and maybe take, you're welcome to do so. Okay, perfect. I just didn't know if you wanted to take some personal pictures. Yeah, if you're going to come on now. All right, if each of you will raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Florida. I will maintain the respect due to courts of justice and judicial officers. I will not counsel or maintain any suit or proceedings which shall appear to me to be unjust, nor any defense except such as I believe to be honestly debatable under the law of the land. I will employ, for the purpose of maintaining the causes confided in me, such means only as are consistent with truth and honor, and will never seek to mislead the judge or jury by any artifice or false statement of fact or law. I will maintain the confidence and preserve inviolate the secrets of my clients, and will accept no compensation in connection with their business except from them or with their knowledge and approval, to opposing parties and their counsel. I pledge fairness, integrity, and civility, not only in court, but also in all written and oral communications. I will abstain from all offensive personality and advance no fact, prejudicial to the honor or reputation of a party or witness, unless required by the justice of the cause with which I am charged. I will never reject, from any consideration personal to myself, the cause of the defenseless or oppressed, or delay anyone's cause for lucre or malice. Help me God. Congratulations.
Wow.
Congratulations to each of you.
My God, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much, Judge Bloom. It's so amazing. Congratulations, huh? High fives everywhere. And you know, that is forever, right? It's forever. It's the way it should be anyway. And so thank you so much. And now I guess you can, well, you want to speak? Okay. So now have a seat and relax for a few minutes. And then it's my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce the one and only Judge Orlando Prescott. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. Where are you in it?
Good afternoon to you, colleagues, all of the members of the State Attorney's Office. It's my honor to be with you this afternoon. Please excuse me, I ran out of the office. Something occurred. Carly, what do you call me? Reason she calls me Uncle Prescott is because her father interned with me when he was in law school. He blessed me about 2.5 months ago by sending me a copy of the letter of recommendation that I wrote on his behalf for him to become an assistant state attorney. I had not seen that letter since I wrote it, so I thank you for it. Erskowitz. August of 1984, I walked in on the 6th floor of the Gerstein building to start my career as an assistant state attorney, and I met Marilyn. Your mother and I started working together. She ultimately became my division chief. And when she started dating your father, I prayed for him. And I went to work at the U.S. Attorney's Office, and I used to play ball with you. So when your state attorney speaks about the relationships that you will develop, it is true. Your father became my little brother. Your mother became my sister. And your father was my balling partner. So life comes around. You took an oath, and I heard you read it. But I want that oath to be indelibly etched in your heart. It's not just something you speak of. It's something that you will become. You've just taken the oath to become a member of the Florida Bar. Earn that. You worked for 3 years, took the Florida Bar, and you passed. Congratulations. There's some of you who've come up short. And for those of you, I say this, don't give up hope. 1984, I took the Florida Bar in Orlando, Florida. What's my first name? I just knew the good Lord was speaking to me. I scored 130.5. My employer at the time, a woman who I learned to love, not just because she was my boss, but her heart, Janet Reno, spoke life into me, said it's okay, continue working here, take the bar again. Ultimately, I became a member of the 11th Judicial Circuit Court of Florida, position of administrative judge of the Unified Children's Court of the 4th largest court system in the United States. Who asked me for the first time? So do not let that deter you. You stay strong. Yeah, you will get here. my colleague, my friend, I love her dearly, but the best part of Judge Bloom is Oliver, her son, my buddy. But she spoke to you about the benchmarks that you've obtained. Graduated from fantastic universities. You matriculated through some of the best law schools in the United States. You've taken one of the most rigorous exams that can be given over the course of 2 days. When I speak to young people and I tell them that the Florida Bar is an exam that you take that tests you on anything you could have learned in law school, even if you didn't take the class, it could be on the exam. And you pass. You've earned that. So when Judge Bloom rose, she asked you to stand and to raise your right hand, and she administered the oath of the Florida Bar. You earned that distinction. Congratulations. See, now, my friend has hired you to do a job that you have not. Fernandez Rundles hired you to do a job you did not. Pastor Jackson spoke to you, and he prayed for you. And one of the things in faith that you speak of is called the spirit of discernment. That you need to be able to parcel things out, determine fact from fiction, right from wrong. And sometimes it's a little something inside of you that you don't see, but you feel. And he prayed for that spirit of discernment for you. And it's that spirit of discernment that caused her to hire you. Out of the thousands of resumes that she received, the hundreds of individuals that she interviewed, she selected you. And as she said, not because of the hypothetical questions that were posed to you, not because of the answers you gave, because some of the answers were wrong. But even though the answers may have been wrong, she asked you to explain why or how you reached the conclusion that you reached. And she was able to parcel through the question and the answer, go beyond your resume, your life experiences, and that certain je ne sais quoi, that certain something that you had that distinguishes you and separated you from everybody else. She selected you. That is truly an honor, because that is what's called grace, unmerited favor that she's given you. What can you do in return? Uphold the standards that have been set. It's not going to be easy. You've taken an oath that thousands of other individuals have taken. Thousands of them in the state of Florida have taken the same oath that you have taken. But not all of them are required to do what is being asked, mandated, to go above and beyond what is on that paper. Because as Judge Bloom spoke to you about, not doing it for lucre or malice, not for money, to hold the law above everything else. You'll have attorneys that will walk into the courtroom and make an argument on behalf of a client, and 5 minutes later, they'll turn around and make a completely different argument on behalf of another client in the same courtroom. But you don't have that luxury. Because see, now, you and I be doing. I have one girlfriend, one wife. My wife's name is Michelle. Girlfriend's name is Lady Justice. We will share the same girlfriend. She's demanding. She's unforgiving. She's unforgiving because she has certain standards that she will not allow you to go below. That bar that we spoke about, that Judge Bloom spoke about, that now you can approach and go beyond, there's also a bar, a vertical, a horizontal bar that we do not allow you limbo. There's no limboing. Because see, in limboing, the lower you go, the better you succeed. Not. This is the higher you go, the better you succeed. Because see, with Lady Justice, she cherishes honor, stability. I ask you, there's a certain position that I take. Many may not understand, but I'll share it with you. It's simply this. I don't want you to be a prosecutor. I've spoken to you about this many years ago. I want you to be an attorney who happens to prosecute the state of Florida. A prosecutor, in my estimation, is myopic. They have one view. Dick, use whatever is necessary to get that. In a race, they're that horse with the blinders. I don't need you to be myopic. I want you to have 20. I want you to be able to see it all. And when you sign your name on the indictment, you mean it. When you stand in the well of the courtroom and you announce your name, and beyond that name, you say, on behalf of the people of the state of Florida, you're doing it for the right reason, to get the best results. Not myopic, but with 20/20 vision. You represent all of the people of Miami-Dade County. The ones sitting on that side of the courtroom and that side of the courtroom. You represent Lady Justice, who wields a sword that is sharp on both ends. Both sides are equally sharp, but one is used offensively and the other defensively. Wield it and wield it well. That is your Excalibur. Not everybody can pull it from the stone. It has been given to you. So what I ask you to do is to now earn it. When you step into a courtroom before me, you have instructors that will teach you the law. That's why she hired you. She can teach you the law. What is that? Je ne sais quoi. Can't give you, but she believes that you have it. So when you appear before me, I don't want to hear that you didn't learn it yet. You're standing there, you're wielding the sword. Wield it well. We will not give an inch because you stand with Lady Justice and there's no going backwards, there's no going below. You rise at all times. I heard this phrase used a number of years ago and I apply it to the state attorney's office. It's simply this: no experience required and no experience cares. Not everybody is worthy of this oath that I'm about to give. If you do not believe that you have it within you, if you believe that Mrs. Rundle saw something in you that you do not possess, I'll ask you, don't rise when I ask you to rise. If you don't believe that you can be beyond the oath of office for a regular attorney, you can be a regular attorney and you can step out the door now and tell her thank you. You still are a member of the Florida Bar. But if you can't, you do not believe that you have what it takes to be an attorney who prosecutes on behalf of the Miami-Dade County State Attorney's Office, we will respect you, but I'll respectfully ask you not. But if you believe that you can go beyond that oath, that you can wield that sword, that you can get that je ne sais quoi and bring it forward, be that person that she believes you to be, and you could represent all of the people of Miami-Dade County, that everyone can sleep better. And when individuals walk into the courtroom, they walk in with a sense that whatever's to be done, it will be done fairly. Because see, my girlfriend has been under attack for a while. And I need more people, as in that great movie, remember? Feel Good Man? I need you where? Where do I need you? On the wall. Come on, you know the movie. Not everybody belongs on the wall. I need you where? I need you where? But if you can't take that post, it's understood. So for those of you who've matriculated from the best law school, for those of you who have qualified for this moment, for those of you who have that certain je ne sais quoi, and you're willing to bring it forth, for those of you who refuse to limbo, and those of you who are willing to high jump, and those of you who are willing to walk into the well of the courtroom and announce your name On behalf of the people of the Miami-Dade County, I ask you to rise and accept this oath.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you be kind enough to raise your right hand. Come on, come on. You need, family, come on. Come on. There's only one oath. Okay? My winker? Okay. I do solemnly swear that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and government of the United States and of the state of Florida, that I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state, and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of Assistant State Attorney, on which I am now about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations to you.
All right. Wow. Wow. I don't even know how to follow any of that, so that means I don't have to, right? It was spectacular. Thank you so much, Judge Bloom. Judge Prescott, could you pretend to have a note? I mean, the rest of us got notes and types. I know that. And don't we want to thank Judge Christy Nunez and Alicia Priovalis. Judges, thank you. Thank you. So we want to thank you for joining us. You took time out of your day. We adore you both. We love you and respect you. And they're going to be signing, so we're going to split up. I guess, Daisy, can you help me with this, or Will? So they sign up. Can you? Yeah, I think one of you should be here, maybe. And Orlando, or one here and one there. How's that? And then, what is the?
They all have their. We have a box of.
Good. Good
and,
start.
We should.
All
have your
right.
own.
Bye to
Very well.
Judge. Thank you. Can we do one?